Hey you, my name is Joseph Warren, and today I'm going to be talking about the power of acceptance and how choosing to accept reality as it is allows us to make meaningful improvements and meaningful changes to our lives. Is there an area of your life that you want to improve? Maybe you want to quit smoking. Maybe you want to stop biting your nails when you're nervous. I actually think I need to start biting my nails because they're getting kind of long. Maybe you want to quit cussing. That's currently what I'm working on. I'm working on breaking the bad habit of cussing. When I was doing my interview a few days ago with my good friend and mentor, Doug Kelly, he told me about how he overcame a speech impediment that he had. He said when he first started public speaking, he would get a lot of feedback saying to slow down. He joined Toastmasters, and a big part of that is giving feedback. And the feedback he would always get was the same: slow down because you're slurring your words. And he learned that he had a speech impediment. He noticed that there were two different ways he could deal with this. One way was to accept it and move on, and the second way was to resist it and just beat himself up. So, for instance, when he noticed he was speaking too fast, he could be like, I always do this. I'm such a dummy. I'll never change. There's no way I can ever do better. And just keep thinking thoughts like that. And that really just led to the problem getting worse and worse. But when he chose the opposite approach, when he chose to accept it and be like, oh, I'm doing that thing again where I speak too quickly, and just kind of say like, okay, next time I'll do better, then that really took away a lot of the energy and the power of the problem and allowed him to overcome it in his speaking career. How often is that true in our lives? That we feed our problems energy by just focusing on them and resisting them and fighting them with everything that we can. I think there's a better way, and I really think the key to making any change is acceptance. So today I'm going to tell you how to accept reality as it is so you can change the things you want to change in your life. Number one, it all begins with awareness. Before you can change any problem, you have to be aware of it. For me personally, I'm working on cussing. I'm working on some other things too, like waking up earlier. So let's just go with cussing because that's real easy. When it comes to that, if I notice that I slip up and I say a cuss word, I'm just like, beep this, beep that, to heck, then what I can do is I can just notice it, just become aware of it, and make a note that I don't want to do that. So if I notice myself slipping up, rather than immediately beating myself up about it, I can just be like, oh, I did that thing I didn't want to do. That's step one. Just become aware of when you do it. Pay attention. Number two, choose acceptance. I use the word choose there very purposefully because it's a choice. When you reach this point in the dilemma, let's say I cussed, I reach a fork in the road. I can choose either to accept reality as it is, accept the fact that I did something I said I didn't want to do, or I can resist it and I can beat myself up about it. A lot of times what people will do is they'll make a mistake here and they'll start resisting it. But think about what happens when you resist it. First of all, you're spending all your energy worried about something that you cannot change. It's the past. It already happened. There's no time machine. You can't go back to change it. So you take all your energy, but you also take your focus out of the present moment. And the present moment is the only place where you can affect change. So really, you take all your power to change anything, and then you take all your mental energy, just drain it by worrying about something that you cannot change. Now, look at what happens if you accept it. If you accept it, you just realize that it happens. You say, okay, I didn't want to do that. I'll do better next time. And you just move on. You take all the power out of the problem and you keep it for yourself. When you resist things, you take all the power away from yourself and you give it to the problem. It's almost like you're feeding the problem all your energy and all your power. So there's two things you can do. And if you really want to actually change, what you're going to have to do is accept reality as it is and accept that we all make mistakes. Then number three, learn the lesson and move on. Very simple. Just think about what you can learn from the situation. Don't beat yourself up. Just say, what can I learn from this? And move on. And if you do it right, you'll be moving on with more wisdom, more knowledge. So the next time you're in the situation, you're less likely to make the same mistake. Get better and better incrementally. It's never going to happen instantaneously. We're all human. We all make mistakes. So when we do and we catch ourselves, the best thing we can do is choose to accept it and then move on. It's a lot like the old movies where people get stuck in quicksand. The one thing you're not supposed to do when you're stuck in quicksand is to fight and struggle. that just makes it worse and you sink faster and faster. What you're supposed to do is calm down, move as slowly as possible towards the edge, and do everything you can to find some grip so that you can escape. It's the exact same thing as when you're in an emergency. The first thing they say not to do is don't panic. So it applies to our lives. If you really want to take back your power in a situation, the best thing you can do is to accept reality exactly as it is. And then you'll be very sober-minded, very able to make changes. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content on how to affect meaningful change and meaningful improvements in your life. And have an amazing day.